Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. I was going to say podcast, but it's still channel, I think, at this point that we're going to go with. And YouTube channel.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Third episode.
On this rainy day.
it's so gloomy out. It's so sad.
So if we look a bit jaundice, that's why.
You get jaundice in a singular day.
Is that what jaundice is?
No, it's from the liver, like when your liver is sick.
Is that when you look yellow?
Yeah, maybe Ellie's liver was a little sick today.
I feel a bit jaundice, my liver.
No.
Welcome to our podcast called Why Did You Send Me This? Where we share our niche little corners of the internet with each other. I'm Maddie.
I'm Marianne.
And I'm Ellie.
Have you ever had a meme or gone down a rabbit hole on the internet of something that you find absolutely hilarious or interesting and you've had no one to send it to? So our podcast is we send those niche little corners of the internet to each other, which inevitably leads to the question, why did you send me this?
It literally sounds like show and tell.
It is. This is literally show and tell. You're so right.
And what did you bring to the class today?
I never had anything good to bring to show and tell.
Did you ever have bring someone to show and tell?
When you say bring someone to show and tell, it sounds like you're British colonizers.
Bring someone. Find someone outside. Drag them with you.
And it's like, if we don't own that land now, we will later. Don't make me the villain in this podcast, please.
Ellie is the British colonizer. What did you guys bring?
Can I have it? No, I shouldn't even ask. I should just take it, right? That's how it works.
That's the new end of the episode. Ellie decides which one she likes best.
I'll have that one, yeah. Should we jump into it?
Yes, let's do it. It's Allie's turn to go first this week.
It's me.
And you don't even have to pass your iPad around this week. That's how tech setup we have this time too.
Guys, we've upgraded to iPads.
I don't have an iPad.
Well, you got to get an iPad. Why are there so many?
So my little send out this week, it's more of a page rather than one specific post. But the first post is what I want to send. Okay, so do the first one.
Okay, so it is a cute little orange cat that is right up in the camera saying, I think I saw you on Spotify. And then I swipe. You were listed as the hottest single. Swiping. Asterisk. Leans in for a kiss with ultimate Riz.
It's just so adorable. I just love it so much. So basically, it's this Instagram page called Ellie the Tabby. And it's this guy. Well, actually, maybe it's the cat. I don't know. It's this Instagram page that, can I just say, has nearly 300,000 followers. So it's not just me that loves Ellie the Tabby. A lot of people do. They just post the cutest photos along with the most cheesiest chat up lines, and there's just something about the combination of the adorable cat and the cheesy chat up line that just gets me every single time.
In case you're wondering, Ellie sent like a full series of them into the chat.
There is dozens.
Yes, profile photo for the cat, Ellie the Tabby, is also like maybe one of the cutest things I've ever seen. It's the cat like on its belly with its hand up like this saying, hey, welcome to my page.
So that was, I think that's my favorite one. I think I saw you on Spotify. You were listed as this week's hottest single.
What time of day were you browsing this page?
I think probably as soon as I woke up.
Is that your morning affirmation?
Do you know what? That's such a lovely way to put it.
You're welcome.
I'd rather have a chat up line from a cat than a human, I think. Although if someone said this to me in a bar, I wouldn't be mad. I'd be like, points for creativity, but probably no.
It could go really good or really bad depending on what they look like, unfortunately.
I'd be like, do you have a cat at home?
But isn't that just the age-old thing of if someone hot does it or comes up to you, no matter what they say, you're going to be like, hey, what's good?
I think it's more how they carry themselves. Because I think if someone comes up and you can tell that they're nervous or shy, then it just doesn't translate. But I think regardless of what they look like, if they come up and they seem like a good time, then I'm into it.
Okay. What's the weirdest way someone's approached you at a bar?
I don't know. I feel like it's always been pretty normal.
But you know what, can I just say, I feel like the stories are when we go up to talk to guys, not when guys come to talk to us.
We're way better.
I feel like that's where a lot of our good stories come from.
Well, I mean, my favorite line.
Yeah, Maddie's favorite pickup line right now is a bit unhinged.
What is it?
It works every time. Allie likes a man with a mustache and a farmer. We've established this.
Yes, we have.
There's something about a bald head that is, I quite like it.
Men who are balding.
Not balding. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Wait, it's a 2-step process. 1, go bald. 2, then you can approach Maddie.
Then you can slide into the DMs. Yeah.
Embrace it, baby.
I don't know why, but like the last few guys I've like dated have all been bald. I didn't plan that, but I'm really into it. So when we're out and we're like, there's someone cute, our like opening line has been, have you ever been bald? And they're all like, whoa, 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 whoa. I have a full head of hair. Like, don't, they all get very offended.
Very touchy.
Apparently your hairline is a very touchy subject for men. And I'm like, no, I think you'd pull it off. And every time without fail, these men have been like, oh yeah, feel my head.
Yeah. I'm just like, this got very intimate very quickly. Yeah. Buy us a drink first.
And then we get free drinks.
Love that.
Yeah. Oh no, the other one you use is I think you'd look better with a mustache.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Yeah, we've used that one quite a bit. I guess a lot of our pickup lines are asking men to change.
I think it's like, you look nice, but there's room for improvement. Here you go. How would you feel if someone came up to you and was like, I feel like you look better with bangs? Or
I'd be so mad. Also, I know I would not look better with bangs. I feel like I've been there, done that. That was a bad mistake from the past. Can't go there.
Well, I mean, Allie has scissors.
No, guys. One of my most traumatizing stories is like when I was 12, I would dye my hair. So I had like blonde highlights. And then at one point I was like, okay, like I want to try to make it red. So I used this like temporary dye and it only went into the blonde highlights. So I had these like red tiger stripes. And then I was like, okay, this isn't great. What can I do to fix it? And I was like, okay, I'll give myself bangs. So I had a bob at the time still, lest we forget. I took my short bangs and I cut them to here to my nose. And I thought to myself, oh, you know what? That's not short enough. So I was like, okay, I'll just take a little bit more off. And it took me forever to get it across to the other side, which I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. So when I stopped, it ended up here on one side and down here on the other.
oh no.
And then I had like the 1-inch bangs on the forehead. And had to go to school the next day. And then there were so many people who were like, you looked better before. And I was like, I know, thank you.
I was like, what can I do to change that? But also micro bangs were like really trendy last year.
What?
Yeah, micro bangs.
Micro bangs are a thing.
Ariane was just, I don't know, 15 years ahead of the curve. Like,
Yeah, I think every girl has had that moment where we've cut our own bangs. If you haven't cut your own bangs, congrats, you don't need therapy.
I cut mine this morning.
I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so emotionally scarred from that last time. I've never attempted since.
Okay, well, I just need to go through also some honorable mentions in the Ellie the Tabby pickup line page. So we also have one that says, I'm not really feeling myself today. And it's Ellie the Tabby looking very dejected, looking down. And the next page it says, can I feel you instead? And then it leans in for a kiss.
Do all of them end in leans in for a kiss?
Yeah, usually with Riz too.
With Riz.
Oh, this was one that was it hit close to home too. So it says, if I had to pick my favorite kind of tea, it would be you, Shadi. There we go. But Shati, T-E-A.
Is this the only animal account you follow?
I don't think I follow a lot of animal accounts, no. I think it's mainly human content. And I think because there's something human about the pickup lines that I quite like.
I actually think some of those would work really good on Bumble.
Yeah, okay, so maybe I should take one of these and the next time, well, I still would be picking me up, but if I do have to pick someone else up, I guess, maybe I should use one of these. I feel like the hottest single one.
Even that, I'm not feeling myself today.
Can I feel you? I don't know, do pickup lines still work though?
I like it. On an opener on an app,
Do you feel like the cheesier the better, or do you actually want like a smooth, like suave one?
I kind of want them funny. One that I do also really like is your appendix because I really want to take you out.
I have a deep fear that my appendix is going to explode.
Oh my God. I was like, where is that going? I was like, we're talking about Patrick, like makeup lines. And Maddie's face all of a sudden was like so serious.
No, I have actually asked my doctor if I could have like appendix like electively removed. They said no, obviously.
You think it's going to rupture?
Yeah, I'm so scared that someday like I'm just gonna be like do down the street and my appendix is gonna just give out and I'm gonna be rushed to the emergency room. Like I'd rather get it removed on my own terms.
Okay. But why? Why is that a deep set fear for you? What happened?
I think when I was in like I think it was like 5th or 6th grade, there was a kid who his appendix burst in class. And at that time, I don't think we even knew what an appendix was. As 5-year-olds, as a medical community, they knew what an appendix was. He was back at school like 2 days later, but everyone was like, this man was about to die and now he has to come back and he has math homework.
Well, yeah, because you don't need your appendix, right? Exactly. Like, you don't need your tonsils. Like, you don't need one of your kidneys. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's good to have them, but...
Exactly. Like, I want to have it electively removed.
Did you guys ever read that book, Madeline, like the little French schoolgirl?
I have the entire series.
I thought you were going to say you didn't want to end up like that, Maddie. You know, when they go, oh no, it's her appendix, and then she gets rushed to the hospital.
Oh no, the appendix.
Like you read that in that accent.
The entire time that you were talking about where this fear started from, all I could think about was the book in my head of Madeline having appendicitis. And I was like, she can't have that be her reality.
Genevieve the dog.
Genevieve.
So as we established in episode 1, I do not speak French.
Why did we establish that?
You wanted to go on to Farmer Meets a Wife Quebecois version.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And then I had to correct her French grammar. That's right. Yeah.
Actually, I have an update about Farmer Wants a Wife.
She's going on the show.
Can you imagine? That would be amazing. No, so I got a voice note from my mum the other day, and it started off so serious. She was like, I really need to talk to you. And I was like, oh my God, what is it? Oh, so I was listening. She was like, I am so hooked on Farmer Wants a Wife. It has taken over my entire life. But not the US version, the Australian version.
There's more versions?
Apparently there's so many different versions. And she was watching the entire series and my sister got involved. My dad got involved watching it too, apparently. So my whole family are Farmer Wants a Wife converts. And my mum was like, I get it. She was like, I totally get where the obsession is coming from. So...
It runs in the family, folks.
You have farmers in the UK.
Yeah, but not like that.
Not like the Australian farmers.
No. Different kind of breed, I think.
Oh, well, have you finished your application?
No, but I will. I haven't even started it yet. I need to be held accountable.
Gotta get her a farmer. Wife needs a farmer.
No, that sounds like a completely different show. That sounds like some sort of polyamory, you know, non-monogamous. Yeah.
Perhaps you can use some of your newfound Tabby Riz on.
On the farmers.
Yeah, Ellie the Tabby. Do you take requests? We need some Riz to use on some hot farmers.
Yes.
Specifically avocado farmers.
Fruit and veg. Who wants to go next? I think you should go next.
Yeah, I can go next. Open the group chat.
Okay.
Okay, so the copy of the post that Maddie sent, it says, if I send you this, it means a reporter is in the group chat. And it has the punchy emoji, the American flag, and the fire emoji, which could mean so many different things.
Allie, do you know what this is about?
Not really, no.
Ariane, do you know what this is about?
I think so. And I feel like I don't have the full picture properly, but I believe it's the reporter from The Atlantic who was added to the WhatsApp chat discussing, what was it, a bomb in the Middle East?
Correct.
Oh my God. So when did this happen?
So earlier on this week, a reporter at The Atlantic got added to a group chat with various heads of government agencies, such as like the director of the CIA, head of national security.
Just from the US.
So all these high-level American officials, JD Vance, like the VP, all these people were in a group chat, and they were talking about missile strikes, and they had just accidentally added this reporter to the group chat. In this text chain, they were talking about bombings in Yemen, active bombings and active national security threats.
Like they were planning on bombing and this was the plan.
How they were going to do it, when it was going to happen, confirmation that it was executed, like that the target was in the building, all of this.
Can I just say it's crazy that that's over a text chain? Not even an email?
One, how do you accidentally add the wrong number to a group chat that important?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't us adding somebody accidentally to our why did you send me this group chat?
And who do we think added that person in? Was it an assistant? Was it someone else?
Yeah, but it was one of the high level ranking officials who created the group chat.
Was shared by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. The screenshots show the timing and targets of the attack in the Houthis in Yemen earlier this month were shared by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and discussed in the chat.
Yeah, so it wasn't like an admin pulled together. Originally, the group chat pulled together of who's the point of contact in each of your offices for this bombing. And then it got into confirmations like, yes, we've confirmed the target is in the building. It's been completed. Good job, guys.
What? So these were like imminent bombings.
Yeah,
These weren't like, hey, we're gonna plan it for like in a week's time or something. It was gonna be like, this is gonna happen tomorrow or something.
yeah,
On a text chain, that is crazy.
on a text chain. So like the quality, like the national security. And I believe at the time, one of the officials was in Russia, which if you're in Russia, you know your phone is being monitored.
Yeah.
So like they weren't even encrypted messages.
Whoa.
So what does this say for their national security? The only reason we know about this is because the wrong person was added to the group chat.
Yes.
It opens the question, how many other of these group chats exist
Yeah.
that we don't know about because there wasn't accidentally the wrong person added to the group chat?
And they're making decisions like this.
Yeah, and the fist bump, the American flag in the fire, was like them sending memes congratulating each other on a successful attack.
Whoa.
Congrats to like the journalistic integrity of the reporter who understood what was happening and inevitably made the choice to share this.
So what the reporter did is he screenshotted the messages and then wrote an article and uploaded it and just posted it.
Yeah, but the thing is he did it after everything happened, and he originally didn't release the messages out of it because it's national security information, and the individuals were testifying about this. They were all claiming it wasn't,
Like a breach of security.
which is wild.
Yeah, like all the responses from national security and like Donald Trump say like no war plans were leaked, like no information that's sensitive. And yes, it is. Like you're saying that now because it was after the fact.
Like, imagine if those being bombed had access to this group chat.
Well, that's the thing. All it took was for the reporter to call one person or to post it somewhere for the whole trajectory to have changed, right? Then people could have like made plans or could have known what was happening, could have evacuated people. Like that's a big difference in what would have come out of it in the end.
The article says it was 31 minutes before the U.S. warplanes launched and 2 hours and 1 minute before the beginning of a period in which a primary target was like hit.
But you know, on WhatsApp, it comes up with like a new number has been added.
Yeah, that's what was really crazy about it is they were all added at the same time. So to their credit, like it didn't show that a new number had been added, but they added everybody, and everybody that was on the thread was talking except for this reporter from the Atlantic. So like, how did nobody look at that and raise a red flag?
Yeah, it seems like there were quite a few numbers in there though. So if there's like 10 or more, I don't know. Someone fucked up though.
Someone fucked up. Big time.
Little old me is I'm triple checking emails to make sure that I have the appropriate people on them. And I'm scared that I'm emailing the wrong person.
An email chain would almost be more acceptable in my mind. I still don't even think it is acceptable. Like it seems like you should have a different channel with more security versus let me just throw in that number in the first place.
He had set the chat to like the messages disappear after a certain period of time.
Was it Snapchat?
To be fair, I feel like that has a bit more security than a text chain.
You know what? If this was on Snapchat, that would be less of a security risk in my mind.
I think so. Can't get those things back unless you save immediately.
And they would have been notified that this reporter had screenshotted.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so that would raise some alarm bells, wouldn't it?
So I guess the next thing is we're going to start sending our national security through Snapchat.
Snapchat, you guys should consider a partnership with the US government at this point. It sounds like
This is how Snapchat makes itself relevant again. Not just for Gen Z and Gen Alpha. It's
For boomers.
yeah, that was my meme.
The world we live in today, guys.
Not a good look.
Okay, shall we wrap it up? I have a video for Maddie and Allie to watch.
And I hope you don't view me any differently, and I hope that I
Well, I do, for sure. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Come on.
I have no idea what just happened.
Why was it repeating so many times? You have to explain. What is the context of this?
It's this video of this very pretty girl talking to a man in a suit. And he's like, I hope you don't see this any differently. Clearly breaking up with her. What's Litus?
Her name is Latia.
Oh, when Latia's come on scratches your brain.
In the second half of that video, she's like, well, I do think of you differently. And then she says, come on now. But the way she says it is just...
And then it's this lady with her cowboy boots and her cowboy hat.
She is riffing on that.
So someone stitched the video of this girl saying, come on now, and started yeehawing with it with her cowboy hat and cowboy boots. Give it a little line dance for us.
So it was the Bachelor finale this week. I know I didn't have a Bachelor recap last week, but I feel like it was not as important as this episode was. And even so, it wasn't that exciting, except for this one moment. Grant, the Bachelor, has selected Juliana, who is the other girl.
Did he do it via song?
He did not do it via song.
Probably for the best.
I think that was for the best. But his top two girls was Juliana and Latia. And it seemed very unsure as to who he was going to pick, but he had really strong connections with both of them, specifically with Latia since like week 1. They FaceTimed her mom. He apparently told her that it was her from the beginning. They were going to get engaged up to like the day before of the engagement, where she said something along the lines of, I'm so excited. We're going to get married. We're getting engaged tomorrow. And he said, I can't wait to get engaged to you. I love you. I love you. I love you. So she shows up to her proposal. And he basically says, it's not you. I hope you don't see me any differently and like, or look at me any differently. And she's like, well, I do. Come on now. But she's never spoken like this on the show. And every time he would say something, her response happened to be, come on now. So it just showed this complete different side of her. And I think the internet just ran with it because it felt like the person that she was kind of trying to sell. And then this like hick version came out.
A little Southern Belle.
Okay, so question, where is she from?
So she's a Mormon, I think from Utah.
So from Utah. Okay. So I feel like that accent doesn't really go with Utah.
I think she's part Hawaiian as well. So the come on now, I'm not really sure where it came from.
But I have to say, in that situation where you're so expecting something to happen and it's the opposite, I feel like your brain does just short circuit a bit. And
imagine being filmed while something like that happens, where you were so sure that you were about to have a ring on your hand and they're like, nah, I don't know. I hope you don't look at me any differently.
Come on now.
come on now.
Why are you playing like that?
Wait, but this other girl, was it Jessica, did you say?
Her name is Juliana.
Oh, Juliana. Okay. So what was he saying to her in the lead up? So if he was saying to, was it Latia? Latia. If he was saying to Latia this whole time, it's going to be you, I love you, that's it. And then all of a sudden it's the other person. What was he saying to the other girl?
She didn't really say as much, but she felt just as confident, I think, in the fact that they were getting engaged on that day. So it feels like he didn't want to get rid of that other option in case he changed his mind at some point throughout the season.
So he was basically telling both women that he was going to pick them, and then he was obviously lying to one of them.
Yeah. Or he said in the lead up, it says he doesn't know what he was going to do. But probably because he told 2 women that he was going to propose to them and then had to say no to one of them.
Does he not understand that's all on camera?
Correct. But they don't show any of that conversation of saying, oh, I love you, I pick you. Like, I think that's off camera, but still.
But he really backed himself into a corner.
What I will say is I love the producers of Love is Blind because they will show you all of that.
Everything.
They will be like, look at this man faking tears. Look at this man absolutely lying to both sides. The Bachelor doesn't do that.
No, not really. It's definitely more structured for sure. And Fantasy Suites it was 2 weeks ago when there's the 3 girls left. Basically, it's the first night that they get to spend with them off camera entirely and like have all these deep conversations too.
Deep conversations.
Other things too, I bet. I think that must have been where a lot of the comments came from and a lot of the decisions were made. I've heard it's where they talk about politics, finances, a lot of like the big conversations that you might not necessarily want to have on TV. Maybe he changed his mind then, but who knows?
Come on now.
Come on now.
For Fantasy Suites, like, does he just have a private night with each of them back to back?
I don't know if it's back to back, but basically within like a week or something like that, he would get to spend the night with them. And they do it so funny. They'll have a card written by the host that basically says, I hope you guys have enjoyed your date together. If you would like, should you stay together as a couple, here is the key to her room if she chooses to accept. And then he'll look at the girl and say, would you like to come to the fantasy suite with me? And they have the choice to say yes or no.
Does anyone say no?
No. But they will be like, I don't want to have sex.
Yeah, but like, you're on reality TV, your mom's watching, you're obviously going to say that.
I don't know. Have you guys watched Love Island? But it's not like that.
I've not watched Love Island.
You've never watched Love Island?
It seems like quite a commitment.
It is. It is. It's like, it's every day for like a month and a half, maybe even 2 months.
What? Every day?
Yeah. Well, apart from Sunday. Sundays, they have like a compilation of the week of like the unseen footage. But apart from that, yeah, every day.
On Sundays, we rest.
Yes. On Sunday, even reality TV rests.
Guess there is some rest for the wicked.
Anything else you want to add for your little Mimi?
Come on now. I think I got it all out that I had to. And
But I feel like already, like we've said it, 10 times in the last 20 minutes? I feel like that's going to be part of your daily vernacular now. I'm just going to wait until someone like bumps into you on the streetcar or something. You'll be like, come on now.
sorry, ma'am. I think the moral of the story is everybody's got a little cowboy in them.
I don't know if that's the moral of the story.
I think so.
I think it's when faced with adversity, you know, if someone's going to break up with you, I think anything goes at that point.
Let your cowboy shine. Come on now.
So is The Bachelor over now?
Yeah, it is, unfortunately. So the next thing I'll have to update on with that will be Bachelor in Paradise in the summer. It's actually what they're doing, which is so insane for this year, is that they, you know how we were talking about the Golden Bachelor, which is the seniors? The seniors are going to Mexico with the younger ones.
Wait, so it's going to be like mixing or separate?
Mixing.
What?
Yeah.
People going to get their sugar mamas.
Or sugar papas? Or, you know, a Splenda daddy instead of a sugar daddy?
But I want the sugar. Give me the good stuff.
Why, because they're diet?
A Splenda daddy because it's not real. He puts it all on credit card.
Oh.
As long as it's not my debt to worry about, then that's fine. I'll take a Splenda daddy.
Yeah.
Inquire within.
I feel so left out. Allie gets a farmer out of this podcast. Ariane gets a Splenda daddy.
Don't worry, a bald man for Maddie. Don't forget, not balding, bald, guys, to clarify.
Come on now.
Come on now.
Okay, the amount of times I'm going to say that this week, actually, I already know.
Come on now, guys, subscribe when you can.
Just wait until my manager tells me I'm doing something wrong. I'll be like, come on now.
That seems like the appropriate response. That's
Okay, and then Maddie did tease an extra segment for this week.
yeah. So, this is a little segment I'm adding called, what did I say I was going to call it?
You're like, I think the working title was, even though it's not race week, we're still going to talk about Formula One. Yes. Working title.
Because me trying to sneak F1 into every conversation like it's a Trojan horse with a battering ram.
Yeah, I was like, sneak is not the right word here.
As she wears her Williams sweater, too.
Yeah, another one.
Like I've been so transparent from the inception of this podcast. The entire intention is to create more Williams fans.
It's working.
I think I'm going to have to change the copy for our podcast. And there might be a disclaimer at the bottom that says this is actually, although you think it's a reality or like a pop culture podcast, it's actually an F1 podcast with the ultimate goal of getting more Williams Racing fans. Subscribe here.
It makes me so sad that Williams is so slept on. I love James Vowles. I love Carlos Sainz. I love Alex Albon.
Yeah, but that's just this year, though.
Logan Sargent had a place, not real much of one, but he had a place. Qualapinto, oh, my boy, I love him. Anyways, so
I have content to bring to the table this week, guys.
yes. So Ariane, we were walking to work the other day, and she told me how she watched Lewis Hamilton's Hot Ones. Yeah. What'd you learn?
Okay, so I am currently getting up to speed on F1, basically. My roommate and I are watching Drive to Survive right now, and we didn't want to start a full other episode, and we were just going through YouTube. And then Lewis Hamilton on Hot Ones popped up, which is a show that I love. So I was like, oh my God, Emma, like we have to watch this. And I found it very insightful. I learned a lot in that short 20-minute video. One being, I didn't know he had a dog. Love that. Roscoe is his name. Yes. So cute. Two, he's a vegan. Did not know that either. That's new. I love that they're plant-based. I also did not realize how careful they had to watch their weight. Which, yeah. And like even just being 1 pound off, like I didn't realize how much implication that might have. But very interesting. And then lastly, which I could not let go of, was they were talking about how like sometimes they'll have like a 500 ml water bottle in the car if like the drivers want it. And Lewis Hamilton was like, I take mine out. I don't want to drink during. But he was saying like the G-force is so strong. If you feel like the pressure on your bladder, a lot of the times the drivers will just piss themselves. And what the fuck? Like, I get it, like, thinking about it. But I was like, oh my God. So they just, like, let it rip while they're in the car? I can't even imagine having to be like, okay, like, it's okay to let go. And, like, thinking about that while you're driving the car in the first place. But then, what did you say? I came to Maddie being like, damn, like, that's disgusting. Didn't realize that.
I will give this to you. She came to me so excited that she was going to teach me something.
No, I didn't think I was going to teach you. This was confirming that this was reality. Like,
what is interesting is like, it makes sense because some of the races, like they don't get out of the car.
yeah.
So an average race is about 2 hours, but some races you get safety cars, you get red flags, you get full race restarts, and they can go on for hours.
Okay, so you'll love this actually. It says here the longest Formula One race in history was the 2011 Canadian Grand Prix, lasting a total of 4 hours, 4 minutes, and 39 seconds. And it says due to heavy rain, multiple safety car periods, and a lengthy delay. So there we are. You're right. 4 hours, 4 minutes.
Yeah. So imagine you're in this high pressure situation. You are an elite athlete. Geek, geek, geek.
I need to work on that.
Do you know that reference?
Nope.
Well, bring that to another podcast. It's sweat, baby.
Yeah, it's sweat.
Sorry, we'll bring that to another podcast.
Back to the peeing.
Yeah.
You said it so proud of yourself.
Back to the peeing, guys.
Back to the peeing.
Yeah, so like you're in this car, you maybe you drank 500 mils of water or whatever, but like you're going at G-force, you're stuck in the car, you can't get out to go pee. Like I can't remember the last time I went 4 hours without peeing.
I think the other thing as well is that, well, I get this anyway, when I need the toilet, I'm so distracted. I can't focus on what I'm doing. I can't sit still. Like I think a lot of people aren't able to. So at that point, if you need, being a Formula One driver, you have to have so much laser focus and be so in the moment that like if you need the toilet, you're not doing your job as well. So I feel like what's the one way to fix that problem? Piss yourself.
Do you think they wear like absorbency pads or something?
No, because
Pads.
I don't know, diaper? Like
that's the weight, right? So much about F1 is so engineered to get the weight of the car down.
yeah.
There's a fantastic F1 podcast that's actually an F1 podcast that I listened to, and they were talking about the race suit. The engineering behind that go into cutting the weight of the suit to make everything as light as possible, because every gram matters, right? Like that's where you get cars being underweight by like I think it was 1 kilogram, and they get disqualified.
It's crazy.
So you need to be so exact. They account for the driver's weight. They account for the weight of the water. They account for all of that.
But also with the race suits, like it's safety measures too. So they have to make sure that they're like up to scratch with being like flame repellent, and they have like special underwear that they wear underneath that.
Yeah, and there was a really famous story with Lewis Hamilton a few years back where the FIA was cracking down on their regulations. So for the safety, everything has to be 2 layers fireproof. So that's where they wear the thin layer underneath their race suits, and they have to wear fireproof underwear. And the FIA said that this is years ago, said that they were cracking down on it. And the drivers were like, how are you going to check that? Yeah, so when the FIA was cracking down on this, Sebastian Vettel wore his flame retardant underwear over his race suit so that the FIA could confirm that he was wearing it. And same with, in that same crackdown, they also were against drivers wearing jewelry. And this felt very targeted towards Lewis Hamilton because he's the only driver that at the time really wore any jewelry. So Lewis came into one of the press conferences wearing multiple watches, multiple chains, like everything he had, as much jewelry as he could, just to prove a point.
I love it.
That it was unfair and not justified. But what I find really funny about them peeing themselves is after the race, they get out of the car and they go jump on their team, covered in piss.
Gotta share it.
Yeah, in celebration.
But they just piss themselves. They get out of the car and they jump onto their team. And then they go and spray champagne all over each other, covered in sweat, champagne.
And piss. That feels disrespectful.
For such a glamorous sport, it's one of those like icky, gross sides of it.
No, pee your pants. That's what you gotta do to get through it.
But also, if you win, I don't think you really care, do you?
I don't know.
Do you have pride?
But like, I guess you are getting your pride back, but you're still like, damn, like I pissed my pants. And the fact that it's not I'm gonna clean myself up now, it's I have to go celebrate first.
Oh my gosh, but think about those races where, like, think of Singapore 2023, where George, he was coming in, I think, second or third, and he was like, final lap, second last corner, and he fucked it into the wall.
And he peed in pants.
Probably. So, like, you pissed yourself. You did this exhausting. Singapore is one of the most exhausting races. And he went through this entire exhausting race, probably lost a couple kilograms of body weight in sweat, pissed himself, and then crashed on the last lap, second last turn.
Can I just say, it's not a requirement that they have to piss themselves every single race. Like, I do think people can go 2 to 3 hours without needing the toilet.
Not me. Not this girl.
I don't think people are like, okay, I have to wet myself because I'm racing.
Guys, lap 40 of lap 57, time to pee.
But it happens is the thing. Enough to like for Lewis Hamilton to bring it up and being like, yeah, drivers pee. Like I don't take water in the car with me because I don't want to pee. So some people are okay with it, I guess. Yeah. Anything for the win.
Yeah.
Whatever gets you.
Come on now.
And I don't look at them any different. Actually, no, I do look at them a little differently now. Come on now.
Come on now.
Yeah. So hope you enjoyed this segment because this is really just an F1 podcast in disguise. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a wrap.
Well, I think we should give everyone else homework. Everyone should go follow Ellie the Tabby.
You want to give our 4 followers homework? We're going to have no followers.
No, we will. People will love this. And comment down below. I love saying that.
You can follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Why did you send me this with a U?
Because properly spelled out was taken.
Yes. We're on YouTube with Why Did You Send Me This?
Yeah, you can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Why did you send me this? Properly spelled out because that wasn't taken.
If you're looking to see the memes that we're talking about too, they are either in the caption of the episode or on our link tree, and there will be a link to each of them every week.
Thanks for listening.
Toodles.
Peace out, my dudes. Have a great week.
And if you don't have a great week, come on now.